And this exciting project video, I'm going to do a lantern holder off center from an industrial timber. Hi everybody, Ahron here. A friend gave me a piece of timber, industrial timber that he used to support his roof, the outside roof, and I decided I'm going to try and do an off-center tea light holder or a lantern holder. Join me, let's see how it works. For this one, I'm using on top of it, I'm using a piece of MDF that will be my base, the holder for the project. You will see now what I'm doing. I'm actually using the blue tape system that Copla was very helpful and gave me this idea. So I'm using this one, and we'll see later how this one worked for me. On both sides, blue tape. One side I put super glue, on the other side I spread it with accelerator, join them together, and we'll see. Now, because it's MDF and that's going to be my recess that I made, I'm flooding it a little bit with super glue, thin super glue, so it goes into the wood and makes it hard. It's a tip that I learned from a friend of mine from the Western Cape club, and that makes the ring very hard, so it will not get damaged when I work on the wood. Find the center and let's prepare to rumble. Remember that on this one you do some wood and a lot of air, some wood and a lot of air. And people that usually do off-center turning, they understand what I'm saying. Basically what happens is you are cutting some of the wood, and as you get further down from the center you get more air to cut, and you have to be very careful, because at the moment you push a little bit too deep in, it will catch, it will break, and it will fly. I moved the camera, as if you can see, to the other side, because I didn't want to move from the center to the side to work on this one. I was worried that if something goes wrong and it flies away, even that I've got the revolving center just to support all the time, just for safety, of course, the helmet, of course, the face shield, I don't play with it, and I keep my fingers as far as possible. The idea is to create a half a ball, half a sphere on one side, and then machine it on the inside. You will see slowly the madness in my head. Using the black line, the V shape, it's easier to manage at this stage, and it goes all the way to the corner, because what happened is that the what you call it, the revolving center is on his way, so I have to be very careful. I'm using now the detailing tool, so I can get all the way to the corner and create a 90-degree line. And very careful, you dig a little bit too deep in and you dig it in. Starting to create the half sphere. I'm going to do it freehand. I don't have a jig for it. It's too expensive for me in Cape Town to buy a jig like that, so I'll have to do it freehand. I made a template so I can see that it is. And when I done the template, I realized that I made a mistake, and the mistake was that I didn't take in consideration the mark that the revolving center leaves. So I had to dig a little bit deeper and make it a little bit longer. And the reason for it is that after I finished, I'll be able to just machine it and get it to a half a sphere. Machine the end of it and get to half a sphere. And you will see now what do I mean by that. I'm sandpapering the most of it, and I'm using here a rubber block, again from the Autobody system, and I'm keeping the revolving center as much as possible as a support, and only in the end I'm going to remove it. I'm putting now a cellular sealer, and I'm going to do it again. When I go to the higher sandpaper, the 220, the 320, and the 400, I like to use the drill and the pad, and it gives it a better finish. And now that's the area that I'm a little bit worried, because there is no revolver center as a support, so the speed is low, and I'm taking very small cuts, because if I dig in, it's gone. And you could see here the line, this black line. It's because this piece of timber is actually two pieces of timber, two different pieces of timber glued together for the support roof. On this one, I'm using triple E, and I'm using the brush, because as much I can, not getting close with my fingers to this one would be better for my fingers. Did you see how easy it came off? Really. Coppola, thank you again for this idea. I used a bandsaw to cut it in half, and I'm looking for a center here. And I'll mark the center, and I will mark also a ring that will give me the lines for it. Now I'm looking to create, I'm putting it into the center, and now I'm using the same piece of MDF, and I'm going to glue the MDF to this piece. You'll see now the same system with the blue tape, and what I'm going to do is I put over there this piece of wood that you see. I put over there as a support, so when I work on it, it will not buckle and it will come out of the blue tape. But I discovered that there is a lot of vibration because of the weight distribution, so I put a contra weight, and I hope that will be enough. And I'll check it now. It looks like it's not enough, and the vibration is still there, so I'll put another contra weight, and let's see how this one will work. This time it looks like it works 100%, and now I can go to my job and hollow the half a sphere from the inside. Remember, as you can see, that I'm still using the revolving center, and I'm using it as much as possible. And another thing is that I had to be very careful. You do what you want to do, but I had to be very careful every time I went over there to switch off the lathe, so I don't touch the wood. Stupidity, because I've got an extension emergency stop, and I can use this one, but I didn't use it. And now I swapped to the dithering tool, and slowly I'm start cutting off from the center, and I will remove the center, and here it came off. And now again, very carefully. By the way, this time, because I'm working in my garage, I moved both of the cars. I moved them totally out, that in case that it flies away or one of the counterweight will fly away, it's not going to damage my car. So I parked them quite far this time. I'll sandpaper inside, very careful with my fingers, and then I'll use the block, and I will the rubber block, and that's how I'm going to. And then on the small ones, I'm going to use the, and of course, I'm going to use again cellular sealer, just because it's industrial wood, it's an industrial log, so it doesn't look good. And I decided that I'm going to take on the top, because the top was a little bit rough because of the, when I cut it with the bandsaw. So I used the sandpaper, I used the 80 just to clean it. And now I'm going to use the triple E, and I'm going to, the center, I'm going to use, you see, and I'll shine it nicely, and then I'll move on to the other side with a different system. And here you'll be able to see how easy it comes. I don't know how many times, but I'll say it all the time. Thank you, Kopla. It was a brilliant idea, and I'm going to use it now all the time. The reason that I'm showing you this angle is because it's very simple. Even when I'm holding the wood in my hand and there is no chance that something will fly away, I'm still wearing my helmet, my face shield and helmet. It's a habit that I made myself, that at the moment I start my lathe, I'm using my helmet, my face shield. I've got one face, my wife says a beautiful face, I don't want to destroy it. And here we almost finished, almost. Wait a few seconds, and now you can see it. And I really hope that you like it. And if you like it, you know what to do. And don't forget to put some comment at the bottom, and I'll see you next video. Cheers!